Isn't she beautiful? The Joe H2O R03 Season 3's car. Out is the purple scheme, in is the yellow, black and red, and I think it looks gorgeous. Hello everybody, and welcome to Season 3 of my career mode. This is the season where I am going for the championship, but the first few races may be difficult because we weren't able to save many of our power upgrades. So we're going to be struggling for power just a little bit in these first few races. But once we get enough upgrades on, we will be able to fight. I am sure of it. Nothing less than the title will be accepted this season. That is my target. This season, by the way, will include new circuits, Imola and Portimao. It will not feature the Saudi Arabia Jeddah circuit. That will be coming in Season 4 though. Anyway, what you're watching there is Mick Schumacher not helping with my first qualifying lap at all. And in fact, we were down in 13th at the end of Q1. But, you know, not too bad an effort, but we do aim to be a lot higher than that. I was just settling for the lap because I thought it would be good enough to get through Q1, and it was. Q2 is going to be an entirely different matter altogether, where we're just going to up the game entirely, and in fact we've set the fastest time, so no real complaints there. And I think that should be us safely into Q2. Now we're into Q3, and we're going to hit that first apex beautifully. Then we're going to let the car flow through these two little kinks. They're not really corners in my mind, they're just little kinks. Before heading up to this long right-hander, we're going in quite tight, letting the car run out wide. And you know what, I'm feeling confident about this lap already. We're a couple of attempts up on Lando Norris, who is in P6. And I'm targeting maybe 3rd or 4th on the grid. You know, I think that's a position that I would be very happy with ending up qualifying as we now head into this weird corner that I don't particularly like myself, but it's one of my least favourite corners on the Bahrain circuit, but we've managed to get through it okay. Go in tight for this long corner here, and then it is a deadly curb on the right. Do not touch it. And I'm really enjoying the feel of this car. The car feels good through the corners, but like I said, powering, you know, getting this acceleration up on the straight and the straight line speed is where we're going to struggle, just like I said, for the first couple of races, just while we're figuring the car out. So it's going to be a 22 race championship, I believe, with the race that we cut out being Abu Dhabi. Anyway, it is P4 on the grid for the first outing here, and I am looking forward to getting stuck in to 29 more laps of Bahrain.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri BOTTAS. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Joker, Jenson Button and Norris, Gasly, Ricciardo, Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda, Sainz, Vettel, Antonio Giovinazzi and Perez, Russell, Ocon, Artem Markelov and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Joe, Mazepin and Charles Leclerc completes today's grid order. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So 2 Joe H2O Racings in the top 5. We're alongside the white Red Bull of Max Verstappen. And it's lights out and away we go. Bottas does not get a good launch off the line. Hamilton does. Hamilton's looking at leading into 1. Button has got ahead of us. And Lando Norris, I believe, is on the outside of us. No, he's got through then. So it's Daniel Ricciardo having a look. We've dropped to P6 off the start, but Button did not get a very good exit out of there. And that puts us alongside Jenson going into 3 or 4, I think it is. And we've dived up the inside, and we have got the place on Jenson. Right, next up is Lando Norris in P4. And Button having a cheeky little look up the inside there. That just wasn't going to happen. Shutting that one down fast. Anyway, now we're trying to keep up with the leaders as much as we can. But just look at the acceleration they have. This is where our power is letting us down, because we just don't have any kind of speed out of the corners or on the straights. This is where we're going to be affected here. And Jenson Button's having a look at P5. He wants to take that position from me. And part of me wonders, could he go quicker at this stage of the race? Could he be any faster than us and pose more of a threat to Lando Norris than what we can? That is definitely something I'm pondering as we complete lap 2.
When you are within 1 second of the car
because
ahead,
we're no longer
DRS
within
zone.
Norris's DRS, but Button is within ours. And I just am thinking, you know, could Jenson maybe get that bit closer, because he is hovering right behind me. And I've gone very wide round there, nearly hitting the barrier, somehow keeping it out. Jenson Button's now going to have a better run on me. And in fact, I'm just going to let him go there. As Button gets the move done on me, I'm going to stay behind him for a few laps and test my experiment out. I'm going to test what he can do against Lando Norris. And if he's unable to do anything, I'll retake the place. A tried and tested technique with Ferrari and Mercedes along the years IRL. But this is just what I'm thinking for now. Let Button see what he can do. And to be honest, over the course of the next couple of laps, he just hasn't really done anything. You know, he's not really made any headway to Norris. If anything, he's dropped a little bit further back. So I'm thinking, right, I think I'm quicker at this stage. Could I get ahead and maybe keep the gap around where it is? Or maybe even close up an attack? Button's going to go defensive, and that's to be expected. I'm going to try and go around the outside of him now. Get the better exit out of here. Button still alongside me. We're side by side. 2 Joe H2O cars side by side for 5th and 6th. This is a very close battle between myself and Jenson Button. Button wanting to hold the inside, but we've got the move done around the outside there. So that's some good driving by us to get the move done. Great solid racing with me and my teammate. Unfortunately, we have a Ferrari coming to a stop here. I want to say that's Charles Leclerc. I'm not too sure. But I do think that's Charles Leclerc's race coming to a premature end. Button now having a look at me on the DRS straight, and I weren't going to fight that one off. Because at the end of the day, we've got Daniel Ricciardo right behind. I'm not going to fight that one too hard. I did try and go around the outside of the next corner. Button was quite slow around the apex, and that's allowed Ricciardo to have a look up the inside, but he's half-heartedly gone up the inside there by the looks of it. As you can see there, he's just sort of half stuck his nose in. Wasn't really alongside as I'm taking the racing line, and he's just gone straight off. We're watching it now from Pierre Gasly, who's had to jam on the brakes. Ricciardo's gone round, and I'm pretty sure that is a safety car. But annoyingly, that was the point where Button had gone ahead, so he's going to be serviced first in the pits. We now have to wait until they're ready with our medium tyres. And you know what? That has really cost me that. So now we are leaving the pit lane. We are down to P17.
One more stop today.
So, like I said, that has cost us just a bit with all that shenanigans going off. We're going to try and keep going. Yuki Tsunoda is actually leading the way. Carlos Sainz is in second. So it was Charles Leclerc who retired. You can see there, Yuki Tsunoda behind the safety car, leading the way here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. This opening race of Season 3 has had such a twist. So many twists and turns, but Here we
We're
go then,
trailing
we
our
are back
teammate
racing
by
again. Giovinazzi's
2.1
having a look at us in
seconds.
the Alpine. We're going to cover. I'm going to see how many places I can nip down the inside here. I believe that's 3 places gained. There's an Alfa Romeo staying alongside me though. Latifi not allowing me to pass that easily, but we're now going to go to the left. Keep the racing line here. Use a bit of overtake to try and get the move done. We have got the move done. And I've been hit! Who's hit me? That's Latifi hitting me round there and shoving me wide. I do not appreciate that one bit. I wish I could see a replay of that one to see if I was truly at fault, but whatever. We're going to dive the inside of both Haas cars there, and I've only made it past one of them. So we're now going to have a look at Schumacher. Round here, that gap was always going to close in on me. And I feel like frustration there was motivating that one as Nikita Mazepin gets right in my slipstream. And that just goes to show where our straight line speed is currently at. But we are struggling to keep Mazepin behind. We need to use the more technical areas of this circuit to try and get past these cars. I'm going to outbrake Mick Schumacher though, around the outside. Move done.
Nice move. Good job.
And next up is Daniel Ricciardo, who is battling the Nicholas Latifi, who I believe was the guy that shoved me off a short while ago. And I'm still not too pleased about it. And I think a dive up the inside here is going to be on. And I've just tapped Ricciardo there. Just a little nudge. I hope that hasn't done any damage to my front wing. I don't believe it has, because that was quite a light nudge. But an inch any other direction, I think that would have been a front wing gone there. So we're very lucky to escape that with damage. And there's cars battling in front of me everywhere you look in this field, due to how topsy-turvy it was, due to people pitting under the safety car. There's battles everywhere you look, and we've just completed a double overtake there on Giovinazzi and Ricciardo into I think it's T8. So I'm quite impressed with that one. Next up is Esteban Ocon, and this is for 15th place. So I feel like I've been overtaking drivers quite a lot, and we're still only in 16th. Gonna have a look down the inside. That is a very standard overtake there. Easy enough. Next up are Stroll and Zhou just in front. So, like I said, there's battles everywhere you look. These two cars are close to each other. And I'm definitely going to try and get past these two as quickly as I can. Stroll going to cover. Oh, this is deja vu from Season 1 when I overtook him around the outside of this corner on the last lap. But this time Stroll, savvy to it, having none of it. Side by side down the straight, but I've got the advantage of overtake. But where the ultimate straight line speed kicks in, the Aston Martin edging ahead. I'm going to try breaking that bit later and staying around the outside. Stroll still there, still side by side, and eventually he has to back out of it as I get the better exit after the right-hander and go into the two little kinks. Next up is Zhou, who's now right behind Markelov. There's battles everywhere here, and we're trying to get past him there, but that's a move that was never going to work. That was optimism at its finest. We're going to dive down the inside of Zhou here and nearly smash into the back of Markelov. Guan Yu trying to hold it still, trying to keep it around the inside, but we have got the line here, and there's nothing he can do about that. We keep the position. Next up is Markelov running in 12th. Quite high up for Alfa Romeo, so he's doing a solid job here at the moment. But we're about to rob Markelov of that 12th place. My goodness me, this is some intense racing that we are doing here. Right, next up are Gasly and Perez. And these two are embroiled in their own little scrap, and I'm pretty sure throughout this season it's not going to be the only time we see these two fight to get out. And there's someone just in front of Gasly, and I can't see who it is. But they're the ones that are keeping this train held up a little bit. So what I've decided to do here is make my second pit stop, try and get a bit of an undercut on, say, Gasly and Perez to get me right into the fight. The only problem is I've come out directly behind Sebastian Vettel, and I've got Carlos Sainz wanting to get eager there, and we've instantly shut that one down. So some of the guys that were ahead when they pitted, well, through not pitting under the safety car, have now pitted, so it's all starting to shake out. We've got to pass Sebastian Vettel We've got to get this move done as quickly as possible if we want this undercut to work. And we're going to go down the inside here, in fact. And yeah, that's a very, very standard overtake there. Vettel not really fighting that one at all.
Great pass.
God, there's been wheel-to-wheel scraps all race. This has been actually one of the most fun races I think I've ever driven. And I'm currently loving this car. Right, okay, so Bottas has made his pit stop. And we are right behind him. Verstappen as well, just up the road. So my aim here is, can we get past Bottas before we lose the advantage? Because that Mercedes is going to be OP as fudge down the straights. And in fact, we have undercut Pierre Gasly as well, which is good news. So I'm now focusing on Valtteri BOTTAS and whether we can get him. We've got the DRS straight here. Is that going to do anything for me? It's not doing as much as I would have hoped it would do. But out of the pits come a few other cars now, and I believe that's Jenson Button just ahead of us. And he's now getting involved with Bottas. We've given Bottas a little tap here. Button trying to get involved, but he's just unable to. I'm now trying to find a way past them both. Button going to the left. Bottas in the middle. I'm just waiting to see how this one shakes out. Button is around the outside of Bottas, and he gets the move done. What a move by our teammate, who takes P4 off of Valtteri BOTTAS. We're now going to go down the inside here and rob Bottas of a further position. That's now P6 we have taken, so Jenson was fighting for P5, I do apologise. But wow, it's all kicking off here. And now we've got another battle. That's Jenson Button on Lando Norris on another car. I believe that's Tsunoda. Jenson Button going down the inside of both of them here. Is he going to make that double overtake work? Tsunoda's trying to hang on. And we are experiencing a treat watching this wheel-to-wheel racing. Button has got both Tsunoda and Norris. We're going to now dive down the inside of Norris while he's too busy, preoccupied with what the two in front of him are doing. We were able to take advantage and get past Lando Norris. Next up is Tsunoda. He's covering us everywhere we go, so I'm now going to the outside and we're going to get the move done. He's on hard tyres, I'm on mediums. It's not really a contest, but Tsunoda, again, using the fact that we don't have that much power at the moment to his advantage. Now Norris is going up the inside. We're going to go down the left of them both. Is that going to work? Tsunoda banging wheels with us here. I'm trying to hold it down the inside, and that is exactly what we've done. We have seen the pair of them off. Oh, I think I need to catch a breath from commentating on this race, because there's just excitement everywhere you look. It is astonishing. Right, we're now watching Tsunoda, a Mercedes and a Red Bull now getting into a fight. I think that's Bottas, Tsunoda and Perez, and Tsunoda losing another place there. And now we've got Lando Norris coming at me. Look at the speed momentum he has. We're going to have to try and brake super late, go around the outside. I've given him space, but he's locked up and gone into my side, and round it goes, and I can't say that's my fault there. I gave him a little bit of space. Norris there locking up and going into me. That's very unfortunate for Lando. Right, what are we watching here? I believe this is a car failure for a Mercedes. I think it's Valtteri Bottas that is out of the race. So that is very unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, we are now in P4. Jenson Button is in P3 and on the podium. And that is Sergio Perez blasting past me here. So the momentum that Red Bull has is just ridiculous. Perez blasting past up into P4. Will I have DRS at the second point though? Yes, I will. So I'm going to try and use that to my advantage. I'm going to dive down the inside, and I'm not going to make the corner. I've gone very deep there, and Perez taking the place back. And we are now down into P5. Jenson Button still in P3. So the podium safe for him as we dive down the inside of Perez around there. And we have got Perez. We have got that overtake done. Sergio Perez now back down into P5. And this race just carries on giving. But now we've got another DRS point for Sergio Perez. We're going to try and cover him off. But Perez has just come out of nowhere and made a dive down the inside. And Perez getting up into 4th place. This is an insanely tight battle for P4. But now I'm going to have to try and get a great run through here and see if I can stay with him so I can get him back on with the DRS on the pit straight. That is my aim as we go into what is now the last lap. So we're about to start the last lap here. Now we're watching Jenson Button as he dives down the inside of Max Verstappen. And that's P2 for our teammate now. So that's extraordinary racing there by Jenson up into P2. Making that overtake stick. And I think I see in the background we have made the overtake work on Perez. We're going to watch that now. Getting into his slipstream. Turning on overtake, turning on DRS, nearly running out of overtake, so I'm literally using everything I've got. Going to dive up the inside of turn 1, and we're going to get that move done, but we're going to have to cover here because Perez is going to come straight back. And in fact, he wasn't able to come back at us at that point. He ended up losing a bit of momentum, and that was that. But what a race it has been. High drama, lots of overtaking, lots of action. Lewis Hamilton then continues his momentum from Season 2, wins the first race. It's second place though for our teammate Jenson Button, so big congratulations to him. He drove a brilliant race. It's second and fourth for Joe H2O Racing. That is a result I will happily take. That is what a great race. What a race. And what a result for our teammate.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
I could watch that one again and again. That was entertaining. That was great racing. And you know what? Despite going through a couple of collisions in that race and a couple of minor dramas, the fact that we're able to take P4, that's a great result. I'm really happy with that. I'm still, like I said, in terms of championship, you know, that's the best I could have hoped for. And again, the first couple of races are going to be quite difficult, but the fact that we get one car on the podium and one car in fourth, I'm very happy to accept that. I'm very, very happy to accept that. And as you can see, that obviously is the championship order. Upgrades will be coming in future races, so we are going to edge ever closer as well. And I think I've got a teammate to fight as well here, because Jenson Button doing extraordinarily well as well. So who knows, it may not even be me that wins the title, but we're currently leading the constructors, so that's the best outcome we could have had from here. Right, I'm going to leave you with the highlights reel from this fantastic race. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Until the next time, I've been Joe. Thank you for watching. Look after yourselves. TTFN, guys. Ta-ta for now.